Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be talking about spellcasting. Specifically, we're going to be discussing the half-caster, the Paladin, and what happens when they finally reach the pinnacle of their magical power. When they reach level 17, so they're in the final tiers of the game, they finally unlock their level 5 spells. The reason that this can be a little underwhelming for a lot of paladins is, well, one, they've been spending their spell slots mostly on smites this whole time, but also because other casters got 5th level spells way back at level 9, 8 levels ago. But the paladin gets a couple unique picks, things that no other class can get. How do they stack up to other 5th level spells and other powers that other casters are getting now, which are 9th level spells? Well, that remains to be seen. I've made a top 5 list of picks that all paladins should consider for their final spell power. Starting with the 5th on the list, we have Reys Dead. Like their cleric brethren, they're good healers, paladins are, and using Reys Dead is a wonderful way to bring someone back if the healing magic just didn't cut it that time. Reys Dead can bring someone back if they've been dead for 10 days or less and you have the complete body. Doing so takes an hour plus 500 gold pieces of materials and brings them back with a -4 penalty to their attacks and ability checks, which goes away after a couple long rests. It is a very useful role-playing ability. Saves the campaign if one of your characters died and Revivify wasn't available. You have plenty of time to cast Reys Dead, and so it's definitely something that I would recommend everyone have at least someone in their party take it, and if no one else can, the Paladin is not a bad pick. It seems fitting for the powerful, armored holy warrior to bring a fallen comrade back from the grave. Now, number 4 is a smite spell, and as with most paladins, we're talking about smite, but this one is possibly the most interesting one, Banishing Smite. Banishing Smite, like all other smite spells, you cast as a bonus action and concentrate on it for a minute. The next time you hit with a weapon attack, the smite triggers. It does an extra 5d10 force damage, so that's quite a bit of extra power in your hits, but that's not all. On top of that, you also deal a banishing effect onto the enemy. It sends them either into the harmless demiplane or the other world of this banishing spell. Banishment is a powerful battlefield control spell anyway. I mentioned it in my 4th level video, and this just turns that into a smite. Now, what's interesting about this one is that with most smite spells, you cast as a bonus action, and the next time you hit, the spell triggers, and then it ends. But with Banishing Smite, it doesn't. You maintain your concentration for the rest of the duration of the minute, and the banishment lasts until then. That's how this spell mixes a powerful smite with a powerful effect, and therefore it deserves a spot on this list as being one of the best uses of your 5th level spell when it comes to attacking. But not necessarily the best use of your 5th level spell. At number 3, we have a paladin only spell, Circle of Power. Circle of Power is an area of effect spell that you concentrate on for 10 minutes, and it's a 30-foot aura that's around you. Interestingly enough, your paladin auras also extend to 30 feet at level 18, but here at level 17 you get the Circle of Power, and it's one heck of an aura. All friendly creatures within that aura, including yourself, have advantage on their saving throws against all spells and all magical effects. This is boss level legendary resistance. When you add in the fact that your aura of protection, which extends to 30 feet the level after this, gives a bonus to all saving throws equal to your charisma modifier anyway, now you're just stacking numbers on advantage. And sticking close to a paladin that's got Circle of Power going basically makes it impossible for you to fail your saves. And what's more is that this gives everyone an evasion-esque style damage resistance, where if it is a spell that would give you half damage on a failed success, instead you take no damage on a failed success. On a success, anyway. I'm sorry. If you succeed, you take no damage. Versus if you succeed, you take half damage outside of the circle. And this makes Circle of Power one of the best defensive techniques any character can have. It is truly the thing that a paladin will use to defend their party at higher tiers of play, and it is stupidly powerful at that. It doesn't do any damage to enemies, but, you know, when your party is succeeding on all their saves and taking no damage when they do, you're going to be fine. Now for number 2, we have a spell that was added in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and it usually performs pretty well if you can do it. Summon Celestial. This allows you to summon an angelic protector. The power of this protector comes from one of 2 different styles, Avenger or Defender. The Avenger gets a bow to attack with, whereas the Defender gets a melee weapon. Both of them can fly, but the Defender has a better armor class and can grant temporary hit points. Also, both of them can heal. At the higher levels of play, summons can struggle a little bit because this thing only has about 50-60 hit points and a 16 to 18 armor class. So it's not super strong, but the fact that it has a flying speed gives it that extra advantage to keep it out of danger. So this Celestial Guardian will continue keeping you safe, even at the higher levels, because flying speeds will keep you safe. And that's why I give this the number 2 spot. You use your action to summon it, but once it's there, you don't have to spend your bonus action to command it, and it stays for an hour, so you can keep it with you throughout the dungeon. It's just a wonderful summoning spell. The only one that I give better than this is another Paladin exclusive. The final powerful spell of the Paladin, Destructive Wave. Destructive Wave is the ultimate Paladin attack, where you punch the ground and a wave of energy fires out from you. This energy is against a con save, so enemies may make their saving throw, but the amount of damage it does is proportional to other 5th level spells, meaning that now you have an attack that is a super AoE. It does half damage in Thunder, and then half Radiant or Necrotic, your choice. And if the creatures fail their save, they also get knocked prone. This is the ultimate Nova Burst, where the Paladin just runs straight into the middle of all the minions, and everybody tries to rush the Paladin, and he casts this one spell. Because, let's be honest, Paladins are all about smiting. And smiting's great for taking down a boss, taking down a final enemy, taking down a big target. When you cast a smite spell, attack, divine smite, especially if you manage to crit, you're going to do boatloads of damage, but that's against one enemy. Having an AoE effect is something that a Paladin has desperately been needing this whole time, and Destructive Wave is it. You run in, you get rushed, you Destructive Wave, and everyone goes flying or is dead. And then all that's left is you and the boss, and you've only used 1 5th level spell slot, which you weren't going to use to smite anyway. So you've got all your magic left to focus on that enemy. This is the most thematic and most wanted power of all the Paladins, to be able to clear not just the boss, but all of his minions as well. Now the Paladin is a one-man army, and that's why Destructive Wave, in my opinion, is the best Paladin spell you can get. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more spellcasting reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.